What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course, and I know this isn't where I normally start most of my videos. There's a reason for that, because we're looking at a fairway driver today. This is the Brave from Latitude 64 in the Royal Grand Plastic. It is 7.6 -1.2, or at least that's what they say it is. First of all, this plastic is gorgeous. It looks flawless. There's not really flashing anywhere. It feels really grippy and tacky. A little bit like Star Plastic. But it's almost like if you took K1 from Castplast and also mixed it with Star Plastic. It feels really, really good. We're gonna throw it off of hole 16 today and a couple other holes. Gonna go and test it, put it through its paces. Let's see if it is really a -1.2 or if it's a little bit more stable or a little bit more flippy than that. And I have a couple other discs to compare it next to, but first we're just gonna go ahead and toss it and we'll see how it flies, and then I might make my decision based off of which discs I need to throw. That 6 glide is real. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that it was more like a -2.2 than a -1.2, but also it's into a headwind, so it might actually be a -1.2. Another disc I have to compare with is the Vela, Calvin Heimburg Vela. This is going to be a more stable plastic than that, but this one says it's a -1.52. But it's only 4 glide, and look how flat that thing is. It's amazing. Very similar flight path, but this Vela might go a little bit shorter. Might have been a little bit too much hyzer. Let's look at this Neo Lumen Essence, so basically glow. 8.6, so it has a 6 glide. It's a touch faster, and it's -2.1, so it's a little bit less stable, but the cross section feels pretty similar, so I'm going to try this as well. Okay, so I actually had a good throw with the first one, and I haven't had a good throw since. The one other disc we're going to look at is the Rhythm 7.5, 4, 6. I don't know what the glide is on this, but it's a -2.1. So it's the 7-speed, but similar numbers to the Essence. I think this one might fly maybe a touch flippier. So I had the same flight path as the Brave, but at the height of the other two. So I think the other two are going to be more similar to the Brave, and the Brave and the Rhythm's just a little bit flippier, I think. Let's hope I can get more of a consistent release out of all of them on the next hole. Continuing in the rotating order, Vela's first, the Brave is going to be last. We're on the hole of 18. This is a disc, or this is the type of disc that I would probably use on a hole like this. It's slightly downhill, but I needed to push really far straight and then give a tiny bit of a fade just so that I don't miss the Mando. But the downhill is gonna really play into the glide, or the glide's gonna really play with the downhill and give me super, super distance. But Vela's first, it definitely has the least glide out of all of these. Nice little flip up to flat, push straight, faded, exactly what you're expecting from a nice neutral fairway to do. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I just did there. That went so high in the air. no idea what happened. Yeah, so that's what happens when you throw a rhythm at more of the normal height. Pretty much goes straight, definitely turns a lot more than these other discs do. Now it's time for the Brave once more. Are flight numbers really a lie? Did that just fly like the rhythm? That was like identical flight to the rhythm. I thought it was going to be more stable. Well, headwind definitely does things, but also same day, like 30 seconds apart. So basically the same breeze, same throw, and they fly. Wow. Okay. Brave's kind of a neutral, slightly flippy fairway driver. That's kind of cool. I think I want to try it on 2 more tee shots, maybe 3. I think we're going to pick them up and then we're going to walk back over here and we're going to play 20. And hopefully we'll be able to see the bright pink disc in the dark, shadowy tunnel of 20. All right, this is something I kind of neglected to do at the beginning. Here's the Brave. It is very domey, so it's probably not that understable. Just when it got to the anhyzer, it kind of drifts on that line, versus the Rhythm, which is very flat. But actually the parting line's pretty similar. It just looks like the parting line is lower on the Brave because of how domey it is. This just doesn't have a whole lot of going over the top of it. But if you were to put them both flat on the ground or flat on a counter, it looks like they would have very similar parting lines. Brave now versus the Essence. Let's line those up if I can. Yeah, the Essence has a slightly lower parting line just because of there's a little bit less plastic under the parting line than there is on the Brave. And then the Vela, why is it so hard to do? Yeah, Vela is definitely more stable. So this is going to be the most overstable out of these 4, but then the Brave is very similar to the other 2, just very, very glidey. Essence is up first on this hole, and then Rhythm, and then the Brave, and then the Vela. I'm gonna go for hyzer flip shots. We're gonna try to make these push as straight as possible down this tunnel. Well, that was a rude little vine. That was perfectly laser beam dead straight, and then it hits a vine, just kicks straight left. Rhythm. Kind of didn't follow through. I didn't push forward on my brace. I think that's what's happening, is I think I'm staying back too far, so it's going up and not forward. Yeah, that is flippier than the first throw. The first throw was so straight. I mean, we expected that to happen. Also, I've been throwing too many shots today. This is like not the first video I filmed today, and now my finger's starting to hurt a little bit. Now I know why they tape it. So I think that's where we're gonna call the video, just to protect my finger a little bit more. What this boils down to is the Brave is a really good far-flying fairway driver. It's a 7-speed. The 6 glide is 100% real. It says it's -1.1 or -1.2, but it's a -1.2 in the same way that an Escape is a -1.2, where it's really, it takes like 20 or 30 trees for it to turn from a -1.2 to a -2.2. So it definitely has a little bit more flip and play than you might expect out of your traditional super neutral fairway driver, but if you hit it right, it goes really far and really straight with at least a finish. So it is finishing on its line. It just turns a little bit more than you might expect before it gets there. That's why I think the turn is a little bit low and needs to be like a -2 instead of a -1. But it's a great fairway driver, flying very similar to a fairly new Neutron Rhythm or a Neoluminescence. So yeah, Brave is a great disc. It is very far-flying and somewhat neutral to understable. If you enjoy content like this, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see something new, please make sure to comment that down below and make sure to subscribe. It definitely helps you out with all these subscriber-only giveaways and helps me as well. And until next time, see you out on the course.